so that's okay. But sometimes it's easier to work with the particular. So we've got here examples of you make a judgment as you're looking, but you don't need to tell us yet whether you think this is would set the 9th symphony. An example of the beautiful flowers, the giving of a sublime experience, the sunrise. Of the not beautiful, plastic, and I'm not sure what that's. Dirt. Oh, dirt.
Dirt.
D-I-R-T, okay. Dirt. Poverty, nothing and plastic. And the ones where people were unclear, we have Brenifier, truth, nature, and a world press photo of the tsunami. So we must have that photo too. But we don't have these resources. Great. So now, what our task is now, we're going to discuss these, and we're going to, what I'm going to be noting here is the criteria you're using to make these decisions. I'll put some of the things I hear you say when you're deciding whether or not these are reasonable examples of each of these kinds of things. So, let's just... So do you understand what criteria means? Would you like to tell the group?
Oh, I wanted already to give one. Universal.
Oh, no, okay, just make sure. So the reason why you chose this as an example, so it's a particular kind of reason, the reason for choosing, selecting something that's falling under a category criteria. So we might start with, let's say, the 9th Symphony. Does everyone accept that it's beautiful? The Beethoven's 9th Symphony. Just imagine, we can imagine any great symphonic work, any large symphonic 18th century. Okay. Why would you call that beautiful? How did you decide that was an example of beauty? Yes.
Because you have pleasure hearing it.
Okay. Another reason?
Because this piece of music evokes the feeling of joy.
And another? Yes?
Because it's near perfection.
Near perfection. Criteria for beauty. Right. How about sunrise?
Well, famous worldwide. It's famous worldwide.
Oh, famous worldwide. So don't forget, we're looking at the criteria for what's beautiful. Yeah? Oscar.
It's well constructed.
Okay. James?
Visually appealing.
Beethoven?
The sunrise. I actually said, let's consider another example now. Perhaps what I'll do to make this move faster, I'm going to put down flowers. And can you tell us why you chose flowers?
Universally accepted.
Oh, okay. Something is beautiful if it's universally accepted as beautiful.
Yeah.
Next would be beautiful, yeah? Any other reasons for just making this?
The other members of the group. What? Said it's good looking.
It's good looking. Okay, is there something here which is close to that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
that the same thing or not?
It implies.
Oh, so it's not the same thing, okay. Sorry. All right.
It brings about good associations to positive experience.
Okay, I'm going to take another one. This one is giving sublime experience. The reason this was chosen as an example of beautiful.
It's no example.
Sorry?
It's no example.
It's not an example.
No.
Okay, you want to reject that one? Put over here.
We want to defend it. Go ahead. Why not?
Just for the moment, I think what I'll do is I'll put the ones which are not accepted down here. Okay. So those three have been. Now I'll go back and step.
As long as one person does not accept it, it's not accepted.
We'll prefer the discussion.
Only one person is enough, right? Okay.
When one person's enough, somebody wants to challenge. So I didn't give you this option before. Did anyone want to challenge any of these examples?
Sunrise.
And what's your challenge? Now, what was the reason given for the sunrise? Well, let's look at the reasons that were actually given.
No, they have not given anything.
We had visually assumed, didn't we? That was one reason. Are you rejecting?
Just a minute. If somebody objects and another wants something, does it make sense? Yes. Please put that on that.
No.
Please.
No.
You want
No, this is not the process. The process is not. We're trying to find where there is disruption or difference. So my aim is to find where there's difference. Where there's agreement, fine. So we'll look at these again, and we'll find the difference soon.
Please, one-on-one. He says
Wait. We're not there yet. We're going to go slowly, carefully first. I made a mistake of assuming these were acceptable. Does anyone want to reject either of those?
Well, there were two other descriptions.
Oh yes, sorry, that's right. So it's visually appealing, and what was the other description related to the sunrise?
Well constructed and famous
well
worldwide.
constructed.
For the sunrise? No.
It was for the Ninth Symphony.
Okay, be careful. Okay, when we're talking about the sunrise, what were the reasons given for finding the sunrise beautiful?
They said visually appealing.
Well,
Near perfection. Near perfection.
Who said near perfection?
No, near perfection.
And what did you say that of?
About the symphony.
Yeah.
And
I think
also
this was
applies about sunrise.
It applies to sunrise.
It applies to sunrise.
No, but it wasn't said.
No, because nobody was said by data of the symphony.
Okay.
So I put it again.
So you want to say that the sunrise is...
Yeah.
Okay, I'll accept that. Okay, so near perfection, visually appealing are the grounds, Oscar, for accepting sunrise as beautiful. Do you reject those two reasons, or either one of them?
again, say again the question.
Okay, it was argued, this is beautiful because it is near perfection and it's visually appealing. Do you want to reject this because you don't accept those reasons?
No,
Why do you want to reject it?
because it's banal. Happens
Okay.
every day.
Okay, so I think what I might do is, now we're going to start looking at...
Happens all the time.
I'm happy with my
We're only looking, not talking about them. Our aim is to look to find these criteria. Oscar's introduced a new criteria, that is, that to be beautiful, something cannot be banal.
Okay. I want to give another reason why that I have seen on the board,
Yes.
that it evokes feeling of joy. The sunrise, it evokes feeling of joy.
Beautiful.
Now, in the end, we don't really worry about where these fall.
Yeah.
In the end, we worry about what's here. Okay? So, sunrise, it would evoke feeling.
Feeling of joy.
So what you're doing is you're confirming that this is an important criteria.
Yes.
Okay, that's all that's happening now. Okay, in this debate here, you're affirming a criteria. And others affirm this is a criteria that Oscar says it's not sufficient Okay, not sufficient. So,
And I would like to add one criterion, which is there a market?
that's famous worldwide. Is there a market? Do you mean there is a market?
Well, if it's sold, if many people buy it, or not.
Market.
That's the criteria.
I
It
know
is
it's
beautiful
not
if it is.
Market.
If there is a
Market
market,
sells.
It's a popular market.
If it sells, it's
if
beautiful.
it sells.
One voice at a time. If it sells, meaning if it has been sold,
If there is a market or a potential market for it.
The potential market.
Because of course you can measure a market.
Market
market
value.
value. One at a time. So, if someone will buy it,
Is it saleable?
well, what is not saleable? Wait a minute. What is not saleable? I mean,
If it's saleable.
ugly things can be sold. But if you say it's essential that it can be, that somebody would pay money for it, is money the aspect you're interested in? So beautiful things are things that must cost a lot of money.
I object.
But are we
Like,
talking about
I know you would object, that's just a bit too
That's why I
loud.
say it.
economical value?
Ah, yes.
A market value.
I object to market value.
Well, market value is just a little bit unspecific. When it's too unspecific, it has a market value. You mean it has an expensive? It is expensive. Do you? Or any market value? If I'm willing to pay a cent.
I object. Reason I object.
Wait till I get sort out what this criteria is. It's just unclear. It's something marketable. It's just like the difference between something could be an answer or it could be the answer that's given. So I just don't. I need something more specific than that it is marketable.
But are we talking about the examples now or in general?
We're talking about the idea that came from over here, which was related to I don't know what. But
I think it's an objective criterion. Some music will sell 50 million pieces. Other music, if I will make music, I will not sell one piece. So it's a criterion. Some people, if you sell 50 million of it, well, it would be a criteria of beauty. If I only sell one, I object.
wait a minute.
Famous worldwide is
If something are all things which cost, which are expensive, are they all beautiful?
Thank you.
Is that what you're saying?
I didn't
No,
say
well, I'm
that.
not hearing what you're saying properly.
The market ability is probably for most people the criterion for beauty.
Yep.
Oh, let's write your word down. Market ability.
I just want to show.
Well,
I object.
An objection about that. Marketability, it's just a need. It could be need. That's why I
okay.
said
We don't need to object yet. We're just collecting what people use. What people claim to use as criteria, okay? We have not decided which of these matter yet. We just want to hear. We just want to hear what people use as their criteria. You say you don't really do it, so I'm not sure if you use that as a criteria or not. So what I need to know is whether you actually use that as a criteria.
Please, let me say something about market value.
I need to know yes or no from you, sir. Yes or no. Do you use that as a criteria or not?
I personally, or people.
You.
No.
Okay, so we'll take it away.
That's a criterion.
Yes,
Yeah.
I'm going to take it away because you did not, because what I'm asking you for is the criteria you use.
Yes.
Finding out what we use.
Yes.
Okay, so,
And I have a question.
yes, good.
Because you are already passing moral judgment.
No, I didn't ask him.
Yes, you do. Because you said, but do have, if it's only when people have to pay money, that it's beauty. So in that moment, in the past, it didn't
No,
want
that's a matter of logic.
So everybody in the group,
It's a matter of logic.
with children,
Necessary.
you are already letting them know that if you have to pay money, it cannot be beautiful.
No, I give you two choices. Is it necessary? It's a question of whether it's necessary or sufficient. It's a question of logic.
Okay, but it's sufficient.
It is sufficient. Oh, okay, we'll put it back then. Okay, good enough. It is sufficient, fine. If something costs any amount of money,
Doesn't matter.
if something costs, it will be beautiful.
The market value.
Put it back. So if something has a market value, it will be beautiful.
No.
Okay, wait a minute to get the idea clear, because the idea is shifting. So if X has a market value, that would be sufficient criteria or a criteria you would use. Good, okay. And you object because?
Yes, I object because price has nothing to do with it. For instance, when you have, say, sheep, when you have a script that can be used for fertilizer, it can be of great market value, but that does not make it beautiful.
Yes, that was the point I was
So
very
you can talk of appeal, general appeal, you can talk of value, but don't put market value. The word price.
Okay, so that people value it.
Yes, remove, if value is good, then remove market. Because our people buy fertilizer for so much.
If you go to New York to some galleries,
I can give you an example. May I give an example?
Yes? I was getting voice quiet. Maybe you can. I can voice.
My husband is an artist. He makes paintings.
Yeah.
A lot of people think it's rubbish, but he can live from it. So a lot of people think it's very beautiful.
But is that,
And that's the market. That is the marketability.
but you
If
haven't
you sell
said, you've
50
got to
notes,
demonstrate the connection. Is it contingently true that it may or may not make money, or is it that the reason why you call it beautiful? Is it the reason why you call it beautiful? Or is it just another
to
factor?
me it's
about it?
beautiful in itself,
Okay.
but for other people not.
So, but you're
And it's
saying,
exactly the reason why they don't buy it, because it's too cheap. And
okay,
for
so then
other
it's
people
not
buy it.
relevant. Then it's not relevant to whether you decide whether it's beautiful or not, because you're deciding independently of its market value that it is beautiful.
No.
You always take into account its market value when you decide whether it's beautiful or not.
No.
You sometimes do.
Sometimes.
So sometimes you cannot decide by other criteria, so you use this criteria.
Yes.
It costs this much money.
Yes.
Okay. Sometimes you make your judgment purely in terms of
Right.
the price.
Yeah.
Okay.
We
Some people
all
would
do.
do that. That's fine. Some
Okay.
people would do that. Okay. For some people, if the painting is in the gallery, it's worth $1 million. Oh, it must be beautiful. Other people, I don't care about that. I don't use that criteria. So, okay, good.
Yep.
Accept that? Yep.
I have a question, because when I said giving sublime experience is no example, I didn't mean it is no example of beautiful,
Oh, sorry.
but I mean it is no example, but it is a criterion.
Oh, it's a criteria.
It's not an example in the sense of some people have it or can
A
it.
criteria, okay.
Therefore I didn't agree with it.
Okay, so do you want to give an example of that then instead?
No, it was not mine example, but I thought it's not
Okay.
the right.
it was not the right place.
Do you
It's
give
criteria,
somebody-
but it's not an example.
Yeah, so that should be on the ground.
Well, let's try it as an example. You give somebody a sublime experience. Is that a beautiful act? This is an action.
Do you give someone a sublime experience also not an example? Because
It's an action. Can an
Yes.
action be beautiful?
yes. But I want to know what action then, because this is more the definition of.
I think the
It
problem
would be more concrete.
is with the verb. If instead of giving, we have put having, it will be okay for you?
No verb, sublime experience.
Just of
Giving
that
away.
experience.
Getting away the verb only sublime experience.
So,
Having, yeah, that would be solve for me the problem.
Hmm?
For me, that would solve the problem instead of having.
Having.
Yes.
is that because it's an action? The giving of a gift, is that a beautiful action? The giving of a gift will do it. that aside. We leave that as a question as to whether an action can be beautiful or not. We seem to be not sure about that, whether an action can be beautiful or not. So I'll put that there. Now, because we've only got 15 minutes, I think I'll shift over to this one. And we're looking at what's missing here. Why is this selected as not beautiful? What was the criteria? What criteria? Was there any criteria for choosing it to be not beautiful? You picked it, yes?
I didn't pick it, but I can give a
Yeah,
criteria
fine.
of artificial.
So things which are artificial cannot be beautiful. Good, okay. Who actually put this down?
I have a reason to say it is beautiful.
I'm only asking at the moment just the reasons for not. Because it's here. You made decisions, okay, when you chose these things. I want to hear the criteria you used to make your decision. Yeah? So we don't need to go outside that discussion too fast.
It's banal.
You've got that? Good. All right. What about dirt? Is dirt banal?
It's universally unacceptable.
It's banal. And is it artificial?
No.
Okay, so there's something...
It's uncomfortable.
Universally unacceptable.
Oh, universally unacceptable, okay.
Unacceptable.
It's not universally.
It's just a possible criteria at the moment. This is what's being used. You're learning what he would use. Yeah, you're learning about him and you accept it. Put this here. Doesn't mean you have to accept it. You're just learning about each other at the moment.
The new criteria?
Okay, so...
The new criteria is undetermined.
Ah, yeah. All right. I'm moving along quickly now. So for poverty. Why is poverty not beautiful? Yes?
Painful.
It's painful. So pain cannot be beautiful?
Shameful.
Shame.
Shameful.
Shame cannot be beautiful?
Unfair. Universally detestable.
Okay, universally unacceptable, detestable. Sorry about my writing. Okay, and you?
Unfair.
Unfair.
Yeah, the people that are poverty that is unfair, therefore it's not beautiful.
Anything, so things which are unfair are not beautiful. And finally we have nothing. Why is nothing
It's subjectless.
subject? Okay. Doesn't really have much.
Does nothing mean no thing?
Oh, doesn't mean nothing.
Then he is talking about nothing when he said it's subjectless.
Yes, nothing is nothing.
That is a question. Because nothing in philosophy does not mean nothing.
It doesn't matter what it means in philosophy. Just
It means no thing.
we're thinking about the example.
no
We're trying hard to.
Yes.
We're trying hard to think of the example
No
presented.
problem.
And I know it's difficult because we don't have pictures, we don't have the objects and all sorts of stuff. We're trying hard to get more general concepts. What was the example that was presented? So, now, I might just leave those so we can move on, but we can go through this process again, what was confusing in these examples. I won't do that now. I want you now to look at our criteria and see whether there's any consistencies or general principles you can, some way of synthesizing these ideas. First we'll look to see whether there's any contradictions here and any contradictions here. I'll read you through what our criteria is.
There's one. Well constructed and artificial.
Good, you already got one, okay.
What's well constructed is artificial, so it has to decide which side it goes.
Okay, so this is now we'll have more freedom to talk now. Okay, this is where I want you to start thinking now.
Well constructed, up. And artificial down.
Artificial goes out.
No, we're not going to think Not yet. Now, so we need to, again, to take a look at those. Is there anything else that sort of is in that conceptual framework that relates to well constructed and artificial here that you can find undetermined? Oh, sorry.
I see another contradiction.
Yep.
It's banal and universally accepted. It's the same thing.
Universally accepted
Is banal.
and universally rejected?
No. What's universally accepted is banal. Everybody accepts it.
Oh, right. And what's universally rejected as well?
Anything universal. Yeah, but they're on the same side, see?
I'm looking for the general.
I'll tell you what contradiction.
Yeah, there can be contradiction.
But banal and universally.
He's talking about that, not
Right, I'm not going to push it. Okay.
I don't agree that something banal is universal.
All right. Just before we're still going to continue this process so we don't get confused, we'll get a few examples of contradictions. Okay? Can anyone else see any other contradictions here? You need to look. You need to look and read.
Subjective and pleasure, joy is, I think it is the same because pleasure and joy are subjective.
There is no subjective.
And it is, it's not beautiful. No. Don't you see?
Subjectless.
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 Subjective.
Pleasure and pain. It's painful and there's joy.
So this is not a contradiction.
It's good. Beautiful and not beautiful.
Connections is fine.
It's okay.
We can have connections or we can have contradictions, if you like. We're just doing some sorting. So I realise I've confused two terms. Connections, contradictions.
Shameful and feeling of joy.
Okay, and shame came here. Okay, so you find a connection between those two. Right, that'd be enough examples. You can keep going.
We were in connections now, or you thought the connection?
Connection. We'll start with connection, and then we'll... Okay. Yep.
Let's see now the contradiction between near perfection and painful. What is near perfection is painful.
Why?
That's not right. Now, before we go, why, just pause for a minute. We don't want to get people confuse our task.
Universally acceptable and famous worldwide. Famous worldwide, universally acceptable. Okay. It's universally unacceptable. They are contradictory.
No.
Universally unacceptable, yeah, they are contradictory.
Don't respond yet, just let the idea sit for a moment, okay? So he's interested in the connections between these connections or contradictions between those.
Connections or contradictions.
Yes, they are contradictory.
Somewhere to feel your way.
Can I add another contradiction? Evokes feeling of joy, uncomfortable.
Okay, so we've got a series of things to look at now, and we'll work with one or other of them. We've got connections between pleasure. No, why have we done that?
Contradiction. Pleasure.
Contradictions. Pleasure, universally accepted, and banal, and painful.
Painful is with near perfection. Contradiction with near perfection.
Painful
And equally with pleasure.
I've got to confuse myself, I'm sorry. Painful and near perfection. Okay.
No, it's also with...
It's equally with pleasure too.
As the contradiction. As an opposite.
Just okay, let's look at it now. I'm not going to sort out what's what for you. Let's look at it now. We're going to pick one of these. I want you to look at these connections now. I think keep focusing for a minute.
Connection or contradiction.
Or contradictions, yeah. I want you to think about these, the things that we've discovered on the board, and in a minute we'll discuss one of these. Okay, so something that you really think is important to discuss. We'd like to put up their hand and construct a question from these criteria. So
Can you speak something
put up your
like
hand and give us a question relating to these criteria that you'd like us to discuss as a group. Okay, thank you.
Why is perfection painful? Near perfection.
I'm going to take 3 questions only, so think carefully. If somebody wants to ask me a question, ask them.
Can ugly be beautiful?
The last one?
Yeah.
The last one. And I'll take one more question.
Can beauty be ugly?
Hands up.
Can shame be pleasurable?
Can shame be?
Pleasurable.
Can shame be pleasurable?
Okay, we've got 2 questions. Moving on here, we're going to take one of these questions, we're going to vote. Why is near perfection painful? Can ugly be beautiful? Can shame be pleasurable? Which question, let you think about which question you think would be the most fruitful to discuss here. Can shame be pleasurable? I'm not sure there's an even.
Maybe you put it on vote.
Are we good? We're good to vote? Yeah. Let's see if focus.
Can you vote every time? Or can you vote anyway?
We're making this quick. We'll make this quick.
So can we just vote 1, 2, 3?
Yes, this one. This is the process. The process is of eliminating, not extending the vote for another time. She wants more time. Keeping your options open. Okay. Are you ready? Is everyone ready? Yeah. Okay, we vote. Why is near perfection painful? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I think that's it. We probably don't need to vote further. This is where we're going to be.
No,
you want it here? You want it here?
Just
Can ugly be beautiful? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And can shame be pleasurable? Okay. I think that was easy. Okay, so our question now is, why is near perfection painful? Martin, can you tell us why you think it is painful? If it's reasonable, why you think it's painful?
That's not my question.
It's my question.
No, I think Larson. Or Irvin. Tell me how to spell it.
Anything you want.
Irvin.
Because we want to be imperfect.
Maybe.
Is that a reason for something being painful, that you want it?
So if you don't get what you want, it hurts you.
Okay, near perfection is painful. You can somebody put that in another word for us? Somebody explain what that's really saying? Yes?
We want to be perfect, not imperfect. We want to be perfect, so when we see, and this reminds us, therefore, painful.
So the lack reminds us, you said. Okay, I'm not going to write our ideas on the board. We're just going to discuss. Okay, is that an explanation? Does that explanation satisfy you?
What is that? We want to be
Just use your memory now, okay, but get rid of it on the board.
Yeah.
But the words were, because we want to be perfect, this reminds us, near perfection reminds us of our failure.
Okay.
Acceptable.
Yeah.
So we've dealt with that question now? Or does somebody want to find it more, something more interesting? Yes.
I think it's the path to go to perfection. It's painful. To attain perfection, it's painful
So
itself.
that means it makes it painful.
Yeah.
So does that add to the idea? Is she building on your idea, or this is not acceptable?
I didn't understand. Could you say it again?
Maybe I cannot say it right in English.
The path to perfection.
The path to perfection is painful.
Is the path distinct from near perfection itself? I mean, it's a question that near perfection is, it's been said, near perfection is painful. And you're telling us it's because the path is painful, that makes it painful.
Painful, yeah.
So, but once you arrive at near perfection and you're no longer on the path, is that still painful?
I don't know.
Okay? Yes?
I think the position given by Oscar is what it is. Man wants to be perfect. And when you can't be perfect, you see yourself being near perfect. It's painful because what you want, you cannot get. Not the path, but not being able to be perfect in the pain.
So that's assuming the near perfection is in yourself. But let's say it's anywhere. That's assuming the near perfection, the example of near perfection that you're looking at is in yourself.
Yes.
So let's say it could be anywhere. A nearly perfect pen. Is that painful, or is it only when you see it in yourself?
It's when you see it in yourself. When you fall short of perfection, you feel pain. Not the torture of being perfect, no. Being perfect itself is wonderful. That's what man wants to achieve. But not getting there, knowing that you're not there, causing the pain. Not the things you do to get there. No.
So you're disagreeing with...
I disagree.
Okay, so is it true that human beings want to be perfect? Do people agree? So put up your hand if you agree that human beings do want to be perfect. And you disagree? So what are you telling us?
I'm saying the person saying no, they disagree, they are lying. They are liars. The person saying I don't want to
Well, I've followed that
is a
street.
liar.
Find the line of person, one of these people.
She was just behind me.
Which tower? Okay, tower.
Tell
us what you're lying to us.
I'm not lying.
No, it was.
I'm very honest.
Oh, that.
Yeah.
And perfect. So your response was you don't aspire to be perfect?
I'm not a perfectionist.
Yes. So are we seeing there's two types of people here? Some are perfectionists and some are not? Or are we saying some are liars and some?
I
object. You are passing moral judgment again.
I am?
Yes. If someone accuses me of lying, it implies that I'm not telling the truth.
Well, that's what she told. No, that's what she
But
told.
you accepted it.
I'm asking you
You
to
didn't
find.
defend me. You say it's okay.
No. What I said was find. Show us the lie. Show. She made the accusation. And I asked her to show us the lie, and pick one person to show their lie. So has she done that yet? Have you found the lie to show?
Sorry?
Have you found Taro's lie? What is the lie?
For me, he's lying to himself.
No, what's the lie?
He said, I'm not a perfectionist.
Perfectionist. And so
So the other question, why you are not a perfectionist?
No, well, why? No, the first question to you is why do you think he is not? Why do you
It's
think?
a question for him.
Yeah.
Why he's saying?
You did first ask why. You first got to tell us why you think he is not a perfectionist.
I don't think the question is that. I think the first question would be, why do you think he's lying?
Fine. Okay, we'll do that.
Don't you think that?
And Oscar wants to say something.
Can I help her prove it?
No.
Yeah,
Because you do this with...
Don't do this. No, please don't do this. She's running. Stop doing this. We ask her. She decides.
First of all, I'd like to see her try, and then she can ask for your help. Okay? So there's two tasks we've got here.
Yes,
One is
okay.
to demonstrate his
So
lie.
now you are asking me,
Yeah.
why do I think he is a liar?
He's lying on this occasion. Just lying on this occasion.
On this occasion. So he is lying, I'm saying he's lying to himself. Not lying to us, but
Yeah.
he's lying to himself. So he said, I'm not perfectionist. He's not perfectionist maybe because he's not perfectionist because he is afraid not to achieve.
No, all you have to do is show us that he was lying. The clear point was to show.
You know that he is lying, so prove it. Not by asking him questions.
I'm not asking him.
But tell us why he is lying.
I'm saying he's lying to himself.
Okay.
Because probably he
How do you know he's lying? Why do you believe he's lying? Show us why you
why you are saying I'm sure taking a classroom with children and you ask them to make a painting. So it will be a race between them who is going to achieve the best painting. Anyone when you are from our childhood we want to be the perfect.
So you've looked around the world
Yes,
and you've made this judgment that all people are like this and you could not be an exception. Yeah? So you've made a generalization.
Yes, it's
an observation. Okay. Yes.
I just would like to say that I don't think the situation described children want to have the best painting has anything to do with perfection. I don't think that proves what you said before, because I can want to be the best and still don't want to be perfect. I just want to be the best of all there is and still not be perfect.
Do you accept that as a distinction?
I don't think it's a
distinction between
to be the best and not to be perfect.
wanting to be the best and wanting to be perfect.
Yes, I don't think you do
The best of what it is.
What it is.
What it is. Yes.
Okay. Jen, do you want to explain the difference between, that there is a difference between wanting to be the best and wanting to be perfect?
I actually wanted to comment on Taro's thing on perfection.
Okay, we'll stick with this issue here first because she cannot see a distinction here. A distinction was made over here and I think that she can't see the distinction. So I think we need to deal with that first. Can somebody help make this distinction, Oscar? Do you want to do that or something else?
No, it's to support her idea that that was lying.
Okay, we'll come to that in a minute. Just the distinction between wanting to be the best in this context and wanting to be perfect. What's that distinction?
I think the difference is between two words. It's called competition and perfection.
Okay, does that help?
between qualitative and quantitative. To be the best, it's to be, you can quantify that. And to be perfect, it's just qualifying.
I was thinking about the difference between want to be the best and want to be perfect. And perfection is of another degree. That's something unattainable. If you want to be the best, what I understood from Katja was you want the best for yourself. But is it perfection or is it imperfection? It doesn't matter.
Do you accept that? Do you accept that you can be the best and not be perfect? We'll just stick with it, yeah? You accept that one? Yes. What was that one that you accept?
The best quantifies that, and the perfect qualifies.
Okay, Oscar?
Yes, one is comparative, the other one is absolute. Comparative and absolute.
Do you understand that? Okay. And Kathy wants to give examples to clarify something?
Yes, I just would like to give an example. So if you have...
is this going to help us or we've already clarified it?
I think so. I think it's going to.
All right.
Yes. If you have a basket with apples and they're not perfect, and any apples are perfect. They're all very best. But there's one that's the best apple of all, but still doesn't make that apple a perfect apple.
How can you be sure about that? What's a perfect apple?
You must know what is perfect. And some of it is imperfection.
Imagine all apples have
She has another basket over here with much better apples, okay? So,
And now we're at 40 minutes.
Okay, I'm running out of time. We haven't resolved this issue, but so we're just going to have to follow this discussion. All this is going to culminate in your redefinition of beauty. You will take on board some of the ideas we've explored, the criteria we've used. There is clearly an interest in discussing beauty, when discussing beauty in the idea of perfection and pain. So put the criteria back for us, and it's your task now to make better sense of the concept of beauty in the light of this discussion. So you go back, you can look at your old definition, but I want you to start again and write a new one now.
Individually?
Individually. It can be the same, but hopefully you will be introducing some new criteria, something more to work with in defining what beauty is.
Just before we go over the break, just talk. It's 5 minutes now.
In 5 minutes, so do that.
Wow. I was not
don't need to copy. Don't copy. Actually, I'll take that away. Because what I want you to do now is you can finish the sentence that you're writing. We don't have time to hear what everyone's got to say. But what you can do is, what I want you to do is pass what you've written to the person next to you. When you receive what the person has written, you can write something underneath that in response, whether you accept or reject or want to add something. So you can give a reason for accepting or a reason for rejecting or something you want to add. Insufficient. Something insufficient in there, what this person has said about you. You tell them what you think they could now add. Okay? So that's what's going to happen next. So make sure you're writing clear enough to be able to pass it on. Oh dear, there's a problem. You can pass it on? So we've got another. You don't have the person to explain anything to you. You read what they've written. You don't ask for their explanation. So you hear me now? You don't ask for their explanation. You just read and respond in writing. Read and respond. Why are people talking? Tell me. No explanation.
That's why we don't have.
No, respond.
To respond to the last definition, we wrote something. We don't have to say something about it.
Just this last piece of writing, that's all. You receive this as like a message from the gods, okay? You've just got this thing, everybody. I'm here. Sorry, Celia. Sorry, just want to get everyone clear about it. You're receiving like a letter from the gods about what beauty is. Right? So, you don't need to talk to the person at any time. You can't talk to them. The person who's giving you this message is a god. You can't talk to them. But you can react to what you read. So you write a reaction.
Write a sentence.
Write a sentence or two. And it's not just oh, this is good and this is bad. It's more like what more could be said. This is only near perfection.
Question or
Yes, it could be a question. It could be a question or statement. Something which enriches what's on the paper. Something, you write something that will enrich what you've written on the paper. So you're going to send the message back to you don't quite get it, or something like that. You go to what you have you got one. Shall I you will respond to it. So try not to explain too much to each other at the moment. Just keep it clear what you're writing. There, 1 minute? How many minutes? 1 minute, okay. Alright, so sorry I have to stop again. Now, what I would do with the children would be do this anonymously. So I take their definitions, we put them in a basket. So it's not about person to person, it's not a personal issue. You'll receive a definition to which you will respond, and then the response gets back to the different person. So have you passed back the responses now? Everyone got back? Yeah, everyone got that. Now, look at what the response from the other person is. And I just to finish off, we'll just take a couple of instances of where you got back something that surprised you or you valued. So somebody's received something back from another which they value. Put up your hand and you can tell us. Okay. So, John.
Yep.
Tell us what your original one was and what he added. Listening now? Cecilia, everybody listening? Don't worry about yours now. Just listen.
My original one, there were these two statements.
That's really the last one.
Okay. To accept oneself, to know oneself.
Beauty. He has defined beauty as to accept oneself and know oneself.
And he told me that it wouldn't be nice to use something which is understandable by the others. And I think this is very nice, what he said. Yeah? And very pertinent.
Okay, anyone else? Yep.
By my definition was beauty is something that has efforts in our senses and in our soul. And Satina added in a positive way.
Another one?
My definition is that beauty is something of high sensual stroke aesthetic worth or appeal. Something of high sensual stroke aesthetic worth or appeal. And you try to tell me that aesthetic means
aesthetic is synonymous.
It is something that's beautiful. So it doesn't detract from what else.
Okay, that's good. So you need to do some more work on that concept now.
I wrote beauty is a universal idea of perfection, and Carol he adds is
perfectly bad beautiful?
It is challenging. And can you rise to that challenge?
Now, for the moment, I just received the art is perfectly bad beautiful, or is it perfectly crazy? It can be beautiful. Perfectly bad.
I read that beauty is any object or subject that evokes one's attraction. So he answered, can you be attracted to yourself?
What are the last words?
Can you be attracted to yourself?
Can you find yourself beautiful?
Yeah.
We'll stop there, because that's fine, it's all.
When we come back after the break, a 15-minute break, we're going to discuss what Janet has done, analyze it, or ask a question, or whatever. So we'll do meta discussion when we come back. Yes, okay. So that. And the last thing, then, because some people want to change their mind, who doesn't come to the? Because who doesn't come to the picnic? Raise your hand. 1, 2, 3, 4.